to go over 29 and a half yards receiving. It's plus 280. Again, not bad. If you're on the trend that you think the Rams are going to score a lot of points, Jefferson's going to get yards somewhere probably. It's not a bad bet. So,
okay.
Now I'm going to throw you guys some trends. These are just some betting trends, okay? Just overall Super Bowl history. Favorites are 36 and 18, okay? Overall, straight up, no spread. This is money line. The only one was a pick 'em was New England, Seattle. We all know how that came. Why hand it to Marshawn Lynch if you don't have to? Okay. Against the spread, favorites are 28, 24, and 2. Okay. The over-under is actually flat even 27 each. They did not have an over-under in week 1 in Super Bowl 1. Wow. So since Super Bowl 2, it's 27 games have ended over, 27 have ended under. Coin toss is interesting because this is how you can make money. Okay.
This is
29 out of 55 coin tosses have ended up heads. Okay.
Okay.
Including 3 of the last 4. But the winner of the coin toss has lost 7 straight Super Bowls. Wow. Okay. So now if you like a team so much, you bet them against the coin toss right now. Because no team 7 straight. I'm not saying it's going to continue, but 7 straight teams. It's like, remember when the All-Star game when the National League won like 18 in a row or whatever it was. It's like one of those things. One year it's going to end, but it never seemed to as an American League fan. I'm just saying. So something to keep an eye on.
Either that or if you go with that same coin toss trend, once the coin flip happens, get right on that whatever site you're using and bet that team to win, man.
Bet the other team to win, right? Exactly. Yeah. The Rams for the whole season are 10-10 against the spread. Okay, and 9-7. I'm sorry, and they've been 9 of their last. They've had a regular season. They had 9 overs, 7 unders, something to that effect, right? It was hard for me to say. While against the spread, the Bengals have won 7 in a row. Okay, so they've been 7 in a row against the spread, and they've been 8-3 against the spread as an underdog this year. Okay. So you look at it right now. The spread is 4, and the over/under is 48.5. Rams favorite, right? So underdogs are 10-4 against the spread in the last 14. Okay. Rams are just 2-9 against the spread. Their last 11 against the AFC. The Bengals are 2-11-1 in their last 11 straight up against the NFC. The trends are awful, right? Both of these teams struggle in the other conference.
Some of these trends you're giving us just suck, bro.
Wow. But they're all trends. Yeah. Under is 7-1 in the last 8 meetings between these two teams. They always seem to score under.
Okay.
And the Bengals are 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 underdogs, and they've covered 7 straight. So these are the things that we're trying to figure out, right? So you go through the trends, and some of them are awful, but for the most part, there also hasn't been a game in the last, what was the number I was looking at? I'm just reading one thing off a piece of paper. The last 5 Super Bowls have not been decided by closer than 6 points.
Okay.
So again, now you're looking at games that have not been that historically close, and teams that are favored by 4.5 points or more are 23-10. Okay.
Okay.
But the winning team is 46-6-2 against the spread. So if you like them, if you like the Bengals money line, you really need to like them to win the game. I mean, against the spread, you need to like them to win the game. Right. It can't be that you're just going to bet them straight on a cover, because you're most likely not going to get it. And the under is 9-7 when it's ever in the Super Bowl, when it's 48.5 in the last in the last 16 games that they've done with an over under. So the last 16 times it's been over 48.5 with the over under. It's been 9-7. The under is coming. So those are the trends. And when you look at most of them, and I know a couple of them are a little discombobulated, so to speak, it leans Bengals a lot to me.
Okay.
It leans Bengals because of underdogs doing so well. It leans Bengals because of, the Rams as a team did not do well against the spread this year. And even in the playoffs, they only went 1-2 against the spread in the playoffs, right? So they haven't been dominant in against the spread. So they're 10-10 overall. Or they're 2-1, I'm sorry, but the Bengals are 3-0. The Bengals have just been stronger against the spread. So these are the things I'm looking at as I'm trying to make my bets. Now, the prop bets are interesting to me, and I love the receivers. I do like the Cincinnati thing that Gino mentioned. He knows I do. I know that everybody's on the Odell bandwagon because he looks great. It's going to be interesting to see if Ramsey is covering Chase. It's going to be interesting to see if Ramsey is just playing one side of the field and Chase is going to be free to run. It's going to be interesting if the weakest segment of any team in this playoff, in this Super Bowl, I should say, the Bengal offensive line can block against the Ram defensive line. That's the whole game. Okay. Right. The Ram O line is good. The Bengal D line is good. And I think that, the Bengals will get some pressure on Stafford. And I think Stafford will throw a pick. I agree with you, Bill. Mm-hmm. I also think that Burrow could go down 6 or 7 times in this game.
Yeah. Oh, that I
and it's listen, Chris Jones had him twice and let him go. I mean,
right.
One of those things. And the Titans sacked him 9 times?
9 times. If he's not doing 2.5 step drops and releasing the ball, he's dead.
I mean, he's going to have to get rid of it quick, right? Yeah. I mean, so when you're looking at all the things, I think Mixon's going to have to be a factor, and I think they're going to have to figure out a way to neutralize Donald for Cincinnati to win. It's the year of the Tiger, as I mentioned the other day, in the Chinese New Year. Don't know what that means. I have no history on this. The Bengals, but you're looking at 2 teams that are this. The Bengals are 0-2 in Super Bowl play. The Rams are 1-3. So it's not like either one of these teams has been really great when they got to the game.
All these trends that you're throwing out, there's like, they're 2-11 and they're
absolutely the only ones that. But I just want to give everybody every single fact. Here's what it comes down to: when you go down against the spread, and who's been hotter against the spread, it's the Bengals. Mm-hmm. When you go out, how underdogs have done lately in the Super Bowl, it favors the Bengals. And then you have to sit there, take all these trends, and then go deep into your heart and make a pick. And that's where it gets exciting. No game has been close. So you figure if the Bengals win, they should win by more than 6, according to what the trends are. And if the Rams win, they'll cover. They won't just win by a field goal. So that's really where we're at. So without further ado, Gino, who do you like this week? Game and over-under. And throw in your MVP pick while you're at it.
I like the Rams.
Okay.
I'm taking the Rams. A good bet I like is Rams money line and the over 48.5. I'm thinking this game is going to go. It's probably going to be, 30-20 is what I originally said, which is 50. That's the over. Funny, the line actually dropped to 4. So it's not 4.5 at the moment.
Yeah, it did drop. It was down to 3.5 for a little bit too. Wow.
Yeah, I like the Rams -4. I like manipulating the lines a little bit. So if you're gonna bet $100 on the Rams -4, it's gonna pay you about $190. But I like the Rams -2.5 for 50. Okay. And then I like the Rams -6.5 for 50. And that bet actually pays 196. Ooh. And I'm basically splitting my difference because if they only win by a field goal, I'm going to get paid on one bet, not the other. But if they do win by 7, I'm going to hit both of them. And that's basically the hope when you're betting -4 anyway. So
right. Odds are that the game will be above 6 according to the recent trends. Who knows? But I like where you are. Mr. Powers, where are you leaning in this game?
I got to tell you, I've been going back and forth. I've been on the Bengals bandwagon all week long. I believe on the show the other day, I picked the Bengals plus the 4. But now I've been seesawing a lot.
I've been
going because everybody's on the Bengals. Everybody thinks that, that Joe Burrow is like the new god. He's never been in this situation. Neither is Stafford, by the way. When you're on an 0-16 team, all of a sudden you're in the Super Bowl. Totally different thing for you. But the Rams are really good. The Rams pass rush is gonna be so huge, and it's gonna cause, I think, Burrow to make mistakes and stuff. So then when I placed my bet, I'm sitting there. It's like, I can't say the Rams now because I made a bet saying the Bengals.
It's hard to do this. It's hard to do this in this one game. This one game is the hardest one of the year.
My heart says I would love the Bengals to win. My money, which means the Rams are going to win, are on the Bengals. I have a feeling the Rams are going to win, though. Will they cover? I don't know. I'm going to say the Rams. I got to be honest with you, unfortunately.
I have flip-flopped during this show so many times. I'm being honest because it's a really tough one for me to predict. Everything tells me that Cincinnati is playing with house money and they'll come in a little bit unscathed, right? Everything tells me that Cincinnati is just going to, come out loose and free and all that fun stuff. And they haven't been here in 31 years was the last time they made the playoffs. And they haven't been in the Super Bowl since obviously the John Taylor game and the Joe Montana drive and all that stuff when Boomer was still a player and not a 20-year veteran as an announcer or whatever he is, right? When you look at the Rams, you just see the best team in football in week out talent-wise, yet they don't always show up and play that way.
Right.
If they play like they played against the Cardinals, this won't be a game.
Yeah.
It won't be a game. Kyler Murray couldn't breathe, and he's fast. Not that Burrow isn't, but Kyler Murray behind a decent offensive line was running for his life. Okay. They bloodied Brady. That was fun for everybody. There's a lot of good things that happen, right? So what you want to – so when I go back and forth, I lean now toward the Rams to cover this game and to win by over a touchdown. I think that the final scores – I think it's an under, though, G. I'm a little opposite of you.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a 27-20 game. I think the Rams are going to win barely under. I'm not saying it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think that teams will have a hard time getting points a little bit. I think the Rams will struggle at certain points, and because I think the Bengal front four is much – underrated as any unit that we're going to watch this week. I think the Bengal front four can get to the quarterback. And I think that the Ram front four obviously can. By talent alone, I lean toward the Rams. I want to root for the Bengals.
Right.
And, all the trends that I read, even though some of them weren't great for the Bengals, most of them leading toward Cincinnati. Most of them lead toward them not only covering, but winning. Mm-hmm. And if you like Cincinnati, you bet them money line this week. You just bet them flat out. You don't bet them to lose by 3 because you don't want that bet. You want to bet them money line. If you're going to bet the Rams, you do what Gino did and you up it up to 6 or 6.5. And you sit there and try to get odds on the win because you're going to be you're not getting great odds for them to win straight up. The only home Super Bowl team that we've ever seen was Tampa last year. They blew out the Chiefs. Blew them out. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's going to be the same trend because I don't think that the Rams have the same home field advantage that Tampa does.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's still an interesting thing to keep an eye on. I'm going to say that the Rams win 27-20. I think it's going to be a competitive game, a close game, but I think that the Rams will have a better second half and kind of pull away.
Now, when you say 20 for the Bengals, does that mean a missed extra point or 2 McPherson field goals?
You know what? I could honestly see 4 McPherson field goals and a 2-point conversion. How about that? I think he's going to get at least 2 kicks. I think he's going to get at least 2 field goals. I think both kickers will. I think that both teams will get stopped in the red zone. What it comes down to is Burrow's going to be throwing it up to Chase when he's in trouble. And if Chase can win the one-on-one battle, Cincinnati could win it. I just think Ramsey's a little bit better than the guys he's been going up against.
Right. Okay.
That's just my take. I mean, guys, listen, this is the hardest game of the year to bet, as Gino will tell you, as you're finding out right now. Bill is first time really kind of digging into this thing.
I was on FanDuel for about an hour.
It's exhausting.
It really was.
Because you go through all these prop bets and you're trying to figure out which one. And some of them are like, I love this, and I hate the third one. I love that. I hate the third one. I love that. How come they can't just give me those 2?
And also, there's a couple of them that, in order to use like your bonus, you've got to pick, a 3-game parlay.
Yeah.
But one of the things you want to pick will not be included in the promo.
It makes it hard. It makes it hard. It is.
A lot of the sites now have build your own parlay too. Right. Where you can actually select who you like to score the touchdown, the money line, the spread.
Right.
That's actually good. You can
it's better,
kind of manipulate it. Except for the Super Bowl, there's instead of the normal 40 props, there's 100 props. So it gets it'll be a little overwhelming if you go on the site. So
you can bet boxes on these sites. You can bet 4-0. You can bet 3-1. You can bet whatever you want and get odds on those. It's that intense with the amount of things that you can bet. So
I got to tell you, with all this, online gambling now, how much have people doing the boxes kind of cut back? Because in the past, everybody, okay, I'll just do boxes. Now
people want this.
Yeah, I think it might have, little JoJo can't go to Cooperstown this year because of FanDuel.
Yep.